Yes, Yoruba Muslims in southwest Nigeria, they are going to stop taking orders from the Sultan of Sokoto. I repeat, Yoruba Muslims in southwest Nigeria, they are going to stop taking orders from the Sultan of Sokoto. Remember, during Ramadan fasting, the Sultan will give a directive to all Muslims because the Sultan is, in quote, the leader of Muslims in the whole Nigeria. But now things are changing. Yoruba Muslims in the southwest, they are going to stop taking orders from the Sultan of Sokoto. Look at this report. League of Imams and Alfas in Yoruba land, Edo and Delta, via the office of the Grand Mufti of Yoruba land, declares that fasting starts on March 1st, 2025. So the Grand Mufti of Yoruba land will now represent the Sultan of Sokoto in these states, Edo, Delta, and also the other 6 states of the southwest, and also Kwara. So Yoruba Muslims now, their allegiance, they are going to be taking directives from the Grand Mufti of Yoruba land. And the Grand Mufti himself has declared that fasting starts on the 1st of March 2025. The leadership of Rabita report on this year 1446 AH, that is the Islamic calendar, that is 2025. 2025 is like 1446 in Islamic calendar. 1446 Ramadan fast release as carried out from the office of the Grand Mufti of Yoruba land on the 13th February 2025. On the 13th, today, February 25, meeting was held. A meeting was held at the headquarters of the Rabitatu Aima Wahulong, League of Imams and Afa in Yoruba land. Leagues of Imam and Afa of Yoruba land had a meeting on the 13th of February 2025. The leadership made the presentation and declaration of the commencement of Ramadan fast of the year 1446 AH, that is equivalent to 2025, after a series of meetings made by the leadership and the professionals. It was declared that Ramadan fast will commence as below. Taraweeh will be observed on the 28th of February, Friday, while Ramadan will commence on the 1st of March 2025, which will be in tandem with the 98% of the Muslims across the world. Listen, Muslims across the world. So nobody's waiting for one northern caliphate to start telling us in the southern part of Nigeria who and when to start the fast, because it seems their influence, the influence given, or the respect, the respect the office given to the Sultan of Sokoto, he's trying to use it for other means. That's why people are saying, let us depend on our own Islamic leaders in the southern part of Nigeria to avoid somebody trying to bring in Sharia to take our lands and dominate our spaces and tell us that our culture is inferior. Then bring an Arabic culture that is disguised, that is enveloped in Islam, to erase our identity as a people. I've said it. These Fulanis, the Sultan of Sokoto and the likes in the northern part of Nigeria, they believe that your culture, your tradition is inferior to your religion. No, it is not like that. Who are you? Religion comes after who you are. God speaks to us in a language that we understand. So God will look for a language, identify you through that language on earth. So far we are on earth here. So far we are here on earth. The identity that's been given to you by God as a result of providence comes before religion. It is what you are attached to that identity. That is what determines who you are. If you like, become a Yoruba person and you want to become an evil person, we know that you are a Yoruba evil. Or if you are an evil person, be worshipping idols and wicked and evil gods, like what Anambra native doctors are doing. The government of the day is exposing a lot of things. You are Igbo first before that tradition or that thing you believe in. You have an identity. See, I don't feel to explain myself. It is a good move from the southern part of Nigeria. Now, when people start realizing that there are other people that have an agenda to take their lands, they understand what to do. All this while, I told you every region have their agenda. But my own problem with all this report is that we have some people in southwest Nigeria that still pay allegiance to the Fulani Caliphate, because I don't know what these people have done to this Yoruba fanatics. There are some Yoruba Islamic fanatics that will not want to align with this report from the Grand Mufti of Yoruba land. They will tell you that this is, I don't go into Islam and every other thing, because I do a lot of studies on Islam. I do a lot of studies on religion also. A lot of studies. So I don't want to go into that Islamic part, whereby there is a way it's been done. Who told you that the Grand Mufti of Yoruba land cannot be able? Who told you? Who told you? I told you the Yoruba people contacted Islam before anybody bringing it into Nigeria. So if the Arabic, like he said, in tandem with the 98% of the Muslims across the world. So by so doing, you'll be able to stop any Fulani invasion in whatever guys. Let them look for another update on how they can come into the southern part of Nigeria. If they want to come with religion, thank God that the Southwest is telling them how to play the game. The Southwest is making them understand that what happened with Ilorin cannot repeat itself. Thank God. I just thank God. What happened in Ilorin cannot repeat itself. Look for another update. Politics, you will be defeated. You wait for 8 years. If you are coming through politics, you wait for 8 years. And if after 8 years, by however providence, a Fulani gets into power, we will always resist any further attempt to Islamize Nigeria, because you people are deceivers and manipulators. Look at Buhari, water resources, grazing routes and ranch. They push it. We resisted it. I've told you that this is the plan of the Fulani. They come to a place, they settle. Okay, they ask for grazing. You give them temporary grazing reserves. From there, they start building permanent structures. From the permanent structures, they start asking for legitimacy. After manipulating themselves in government and positions in government, they speak to their people, help us push for this. They start getting legitimacy. Anywhere they are rejected, you see all of a sudden terrorism spring up in that place. All of a sudden you see terrorism, putting fear in the minds of the people, subjecting the people to fear so that they can have their way. From a free land to a permanent residence, from a permanent residence they start expanding to different places. We have seen the exposure on how the US government is saying that the US aid is funding Boko Haram. And I've told you, who are those that are running this Boko Haram? Are they Hausas? Mostly they are Fulani. I know Boko Haram was founded 2002. But I told that some people have become a willing tool to sabotage this country called Nigeria. If not for the fact that the South is not united, all these things will not be happening. If not for the fact that some people have aligned with these Fulanis and they have used religion and entered some people small, we will not be having this conversation today. As you see Nigeria, people that say the unity of Nigeria is not negotiable, they don't want Nigeria to prosper. They want their own personal interest to prosper. What is the agenda of the Fulani? Is to make Nigeria an Islamic nation, and they will be at the head of it. Anything Islam in Nigeria that attach Nigeria to it. If you have Islam in Nigeria, the Fulani is always at the head of anything religion, as far as it is Islam. So I like what these Yoruba youths are doing, this revolutionary, followed by some of their leaders. Look at how they are dealing with the issues, little by little. This thing now will get legitimacy, and if it is being practiced in the next 10 years, it becomes a norm in Yoruba land. If the Sultan wants to do what he wants to do, let him do. If they want to, let him do. The Fulani are not the only people that have access to religion. The Islam, it is not their religion, it is Arabic religion. If you look at the Yoruba history, somehow they have a connection with Saudi Arabia. So, what is the big deal? We have said it, we don't want Sharia in the southern part of Nigeria. If the message is not clear, if people from that place, the Futajalon Islands, if they are not going to adhere, if they are not going to do the needful, staying clear from southern Nigeria, because I know this Fulani, they will never rest. I told you, they will never rest. They will never rest until they will find a way. It is until you push them until they don't have power to stand again before they can back off. I've told you, an average Fulani terrorist coming into the farmlands to chop, to destroy your farm and whatever, complaining to the government, to the police, and talk to them, does not stop them, because it repeats itself. If you do what they did in Ghana to them, shoot at sight. The Ghana people shoot at sight. If you are trespassing, they made it a law, legal, shoot at sight. They stopped. That's the only thing that can stop. So whoever that is pushing Sharia, we are all united on this particular cause. We might be divided in so many things. The Southwest might hate the Southeast. Me, I don't care. You see all those politicians running all those propaganda. Igbo, this. Igbo expansionism. Igbo want to take over our land. Igbo, all those who are running, they are running it for their positions in government, their political relevance. If you like, get it. If you like, don't get it. Most of these politicians give, in this Southwest, most of these politicians do businesses with Igbos. So whatever they are pushing about the Igbos, Igbos are this, Igbos quoted them, it is for their political relevance. The southern part of Nigeria will always need each other in one way or the other. I don't care what you think at this moment. If you sit down and look at it critically, the proximity and whatever, we have similar values, similar, not all. It is the politicians that are creating. So if the southern Nigeria are to unite themselves in this particular religious angle against whatever external forces, because I've said it, I'll repeat it over and over again, if you allow Sharia courts in the Southwest, it's going to affect the Southeast and also the South-South. So we need to look ahead and make sure that whatever that is happening, we raise the alarm. So this is a good development from our brothers, Southern brothers. I know some Igbos don't like Yorubas, some Yorubas don't like Igbos. I told you before that God created us, we are all human beings. As a Christian, at the Tower of Babel, that's when we split. The languages split. As a Christian, I don't know what your tradition, your religion tells you. Tower of Babel, different languages were distributed to different people. We are all one human being like. So if you are creating if you're having a reason to hate, that is your business and your problem. You understand? We need to unite against this Fulani jihadism in the southern part of Nigeria. And this is a big one. If the Southwest can keep to it, I know our Igbo Muslims, all those ones get stronger. The minority will want to follow these ones. All those are a minority. We know how to deal with them. We will deal with them in a way that pleases God and government. Let me pick it from our Southwest influencers. We will deal with them in a way that pleases God and government. We don't want insecurity. We don't want anything that will bring unrest in the Southeast. The problems we have is enough. The problems we have is enough. And now let me speak on what is happening in Anambra State and Governor Soludo. The government, there are three powers. We have religious power, we have traditional power, we have power of the government. The government is clamping down on traditional institutions in the southeast part of Nigeria, and I see it as a welcome development. Okite is not part of our culture, it's evil. In fact, I was expecting your Hanese to upgrade our culture. You know, sometimes things need to be upgraded. Our forefathers, they were creative enough to explore a lot of things and made some things that this is Omenala. Because of their time, they might not be so perfect in what they told us to start doing. In our own time, we need to also be creative and update some things and make some things adapt to the times that we find ourselves. We will not be saying a particular culture whereby they must kill somebody or they must kill somebody and bury with the king. No, we need to update it to our time. We know our language. Our language needs to be preserved. The language is the most important thing we need to preserve. Our dress code, we also need to preserve it. That are ways. Some practices that are alien, we need to do away with it and upgrade it to the current living standard, the current society we find ourselves in. Okite, I don't know who brought that Okite into the southeast. It is making us have youth lazy, don't want to work, don't want to go for umu boy or learn a trade, don't want to hack on their skills, don't want to work legitimately. Some of these DBS in the southeast are making our young people becoming unproductive. Get quick rich syndrome is what that has destroyed most of our youths in the southern part of Nigeria. I've told you, the northerners are going to school. Look at their universities. The kind of culture we introduce to ourselves in the southwest. Come to Lagos. An average young man is into fraud. An average. Go to the north. An average young man is not into fraud. Understand my English, my postulation. Go to our university today. We have very, very good and brilliant students. But when you look at the range, the number of people that are serious in our universities, you can't compare it with the number of people that are serious in northern universities. You can't compare as of today. Do your research. Then why can't we pick out practices that will discourage our youth from earning a living legitimately without shedding all sort of rubbish rituals, doing all sort of rituals? We cannot grow as a society. The reasons why the Igbos are excelling, those Igbos that were born before, during and after the war, that are excelling, not the ones that are born 2000, not the Igbos that are born in 2000, all those ones. The current society we find ourselves is making them look useless. Because of the war, Igbos had to work hard. They had to focus. They had to work hard. They never look for shortcuts. They knew that all they needed was to work hard with the 20 pounds they gave them. That's why you see people excelling from that set of people after the war, or that survived the war, that started going to school. You see that they were so focused on their studies, they were focused on achieving, to proving that they can be better. And most of them we have today all spread all over the world because of that society, because of that mentality there. All of a sudden, I don't know where we now got this mentality from. They call that one Akwatiwaraki or Akwokiko Tiwaraki. You are misleading people. You are misleading people from doing what is legitimate. You don't build societies by just all these yahoo fraud, and you don't build societies. This is not how the world was built. The world was not built on such kind of fraudulent activities. People actually did innovations. They found some things. They created some things. The computer you are using, whatever you are using, the agricultural revolution you are seeing, it was created by somebody. People had skills. These are the things that foster society. These are the things that push society to next levels. People with skills, people that are contributing to society legally, not illegal. You fraud, you do it. Somebody say Yahoo are the ones keeping rich economy. Let that bricklayer stop doing his bricklaying job. Let that teacher stop teaching. Let that person you think that what he's doing is inconsequential because you can defraud people for money. Let those people that are building those iron benders, those welders, let them stop. You now know that your Yahoo money and your thief money does not count anywhere. Those that have handwork, let them stop. And let us have only fraudsters and okite people. You want to build a house in a village, you trek 1 million miles. Because every young person wants to get rich quick and be spending money and be showing off. We support what Soludo is doing. Whether he is using it for politics, that will not concern me. He should get rid of all these people that is destroying our youths in the southeast.